LTA, the society, and many people are disagreeable to the laws that you are stating and trying to implement for e-scooteries, PMDs and cyclists. It is not logical, and only people who are not involved with these things may agree with the digits and numbers that you're throwing up. Hey guys, welcome back again to another episode of our vlog. Now, as you know, every Wednesday we release a vlog to share our opinions on what we think about certain situations. It can be an international situation, it can be a local situation. And for the past few weeks, we've been talking about the e-scooter issues or LTA issues. And today's vlog is going to be just about that again. If you haven't watched our previous vlogs, you really have to go catch them because it kind of like builds up. And in the previous vlog, we actually released a camera giveaway. And in today's vlog, we are going to give away another camera now because the sponsor of this camera has decided that it is really important for people to have a camera like that to protect themselves. So because of that, he's giving away another camera. This is really good and many people want it, especially for their vehicles, because it's so small. It is more like a spy camera and it's really good, right? Because sometimes when you put a huge camera at the front of your car, people will know, oh, there's a camera, let's, pretend and act like everything is normal, like I'm really good. But with this, they won't even know. They won't even notice there's a camera there, so they'll do whatever they want to do. They're really mean people, right? So let them do what they want and just keep your cool. Just keep your cool, alright? And record it with this camera. So this camera is really amazing. Now, if you haven't gotten yourself one of these cameras, you really have to get yourself a camera to protect yourself on the road. I actually have 3 cameras which I carry around. One is a GoPro 5, Hero 5, and this is a GoPro 360. And I also have, the one which I'm recording with, which is the Canon G7X. So I actually carry these cameras around everywhere I go, really for protection. Have experienced many situations in which people just love to blame and throw lots of accusations, right? They love to throw a lot of accusations just to protect themselves. And that is why I'm advising all of you to get a camera, because I've been affected before. I know the danger of what can happen to you. So because of that, it's very important to protect yourself. For myself, it's not really protection from the road so far. It's really daily circumstances and situations. So it's really important to me that you have a camera. Now, before we continue, I have to say that today's vlog is really not just about my hard work. It's really the hard work of the community, and I'm actually going to pick up some of the really latest news and interesting news that I actually see on Facebook or on the news, alright? And then we'll talk about these things that are happening in Singapore, and I think it's really very important. Now, one of the most important thing at this point of time, after creating all the videos that we have created, is for the community, you and me, to share this video with others. It's not just for ourselves to sit down there and, I know many of the videos that are online are really things that we watch and like, 5 things we do in Singapore, and you go like, oh yeah, this is something good, this is nice, we can talk about it like during lunch. I'm not asking you to talk about it, I'm asking you to share these videos, alright, because this is really important. In our vlogs, we have talked a lot about the situation. What is the reality on the ground? That's the first thing that we are trying to bring forth. The second thing is to bring about the reality that, we are all not perfect. And in that sense, it's not about the e-scooteries or the PMD users or the cyclists. It's everyone. And 50% of the problem is actually the society itself. The people who are walking, the people who are driving, the people who are just standing there doing nothing at all. 50% of the fault is also on these people. So it's very important for us to share all these videos so that we can, as a community, improve. We can help each other to improve, and by sharing this, it really helps people to think about their actions, And of course, we have people who are on extremes on each side, which is like, oh no, I'm definitely right. In fact, when I first created these videos, I actually expected the e-scooterists to be very defensive and say, oh, we are right and the pedestrians are entirely wrong. But the results have really been quite surprising to me, because I can see that the e-scooterists in this situation has been the more logical side. They are the ones who reflect on their actions and they think about it and say, yeah, maybe 50% is this, maybe it's that. If you look at the comments that we have gotten in the past few videos, it's usually the pedestrians. There are pedestrians who are just in their own world. They are just like, oh no, it's not my fault, it's entirely the e-scooterist fault, it's entirely the cyclist fault. The pavement is entirely for people who have 2 legs to walk, and that cyclists should be going on the road, but LTA refuses to put the PMDs on the road. There are some people who are just, we are 100% right. It has really surprised me that the e-scooterists, the cyclists, the PMD, and rather the people, most of them have been the more logical side of it. And that, encourages me that, we are actually having a good community of people. These are people who think, people who rationalize, people who, reason out by logic, and that's really good. So if you're one of them, give a pat on your back. All right, that's well done to you, and I think that's really, really good. And you know, if you see your friends, don't just tell them. You know, in fact, every time we're on the road, the one main thing that we hear e-scooterists say is ride safe. Right? I mean, if you're an e-scooterist, you're a cyclist or PMD user, or basically even a motorcyclist, you will always hear this: ride safe, drive safe, ride safe, drive safe. Instead of saying ride safe and drive safe only, maybe the next time you see your friend, tell them, go and share, go and watch the video made by AStarVlogs about e-scooterists and drivers in Singapore, and share that video, because it's not just about reminding each of us to ride safe and drive safe. It's also for the pedestrians to know to walk safe, react safe, and for us to open up our minds that things can happen around us all the time. Now in today's vlog, you will actually see a lot of situations that have been happening on the road, and when you see these situations, I want you to ask yourself, is it just the driver's fault? Is it just the e-scooterist's fault? Whose fault? Or is it, you know, fault on both sides? And then we'll come back and talk about it. So this is the first one that I like to talk about. The first one says, students raise hands while crossing road but have close call with driver who speeds past them. Now in fact, all these news that I'm showing you are kind of like recently shared news online. Let's just have a look at the video, right? So there's a zebra crossing there. The car goes. Look at the two children who are crossing. Alright, and the car, whoa! You see that there? You see that there? Let's just replay that. Let's just replay this. The car just goes. Look, they are actually looking right because they're looking at this car here. They go across and they're about to look left when this car just zooms past. He has to learn to drive really, really, really safe. In Singapore, all of us are having so many things on our minds. Sometimes it's really hard to concentrate on the road. You see, when I go overseas and when we travel on the road, it's very different as compared to what we are doing in Singapore, because overseas you may say that, oh, you know, there's no law and no order. It's not that there's no law and order. There's a lot of logic, there's a lot of common sense. So to them, road signs are a guide. It's a guide, and because things are a guide, they use their eyes to see. Whereas in Singapore, it becomes like a law. It's like, oh, the green light means go, red light means stop. There's no logic. People just follow it as a rule, like, oh, green, oh, it's my turn, okay, I go. They don't open their eyes to see. Whereas overseas, sometimes it's the red light, but they see there's no car going from left to right. Why am I waiting down here? It's an empty road, so they just go. So because of that kind of attitude and habit that they have, they kind of like look out. They look out, look here, look there, make sure that there's nobody, then they go. Whereas over here, people just tend to follow the light and then they just go. So that's why accidents can really happen from all this. So in this situation, you can see that having a camera is really important. Suppose these children got hit and the driver drives away. Who knows who hit them? Nobody would have known. If you do not have a camera, you would not have captured this, and you would not have known who hit you, or who hit someone else, or who hit whoever. So having a camera really helps you a lot and protects you, alright? Not just yourself, but also the people around us. That's why having a camera is very, very important. Alright, so let's go on to the next one. The next one is here. Bus driver fined after heartbreaking causes elderly passenger to fall and sustain serious injuries. So in this case, nobody got, you know, banged on the road or whatsoever, but this bus driver, he braked very hard and caused the elderly passenger to fall and have serious injuries. The next one here, which is 2 dead and 1 injured in Bukit Timah road accident, and the video shows the van speeding. So you can see the van was speeding, and this is the picture down here. So this was something that was posted on 21st October 2018. So let's just get close and see what's that. So you can see, oh my gosh, the van is quite badly, very badly hit. So once again, very, very important to have a camera to capture such things, right? Especially if you are on the side, and you never know. It may not have injured you, but it may have injured someone else, your friends, your loved ones, and therefore having a camera is very, very important. Next one, which was shared on the SG Road Vigilante. So this was a video shared. Look at this. This is a red light here, so let's just play the video. So it's green light now, and therefore the e-scooterist is going forward. He's right away now. So like I said just now, many of us just follow the rule, right? So it's like green light and then we go, red light and we stop. But sometimes we have just too many things on our minds. So he's going, he's checking at the right side just to make sure that no car is coming from this direction, just to be extra safe. That's really good of him. Still green light in his favor, and suddenly you see a car that goes on. Once again, it is his right of way. He moves forward, and look at the car on the left. It continues to go and it almost hit him, so he tried to avoid, and it's really, really scary. This happened at Bishan Park. I think if you have watched our vlogs, we've been there quite often. So the idea is that it's really, really dangerous if you just go on the road and, you know, have nothing to protect yourself. If this guy didn't have anything to protect himself, he can fall down, he can get hit, and he can complain till the world's end, but he has no evidence. The car driver, just mind you, the car driver will not ever say it is his fault. No car driver is going to come out and say, oh, it was my fault. The idea of having a camera is very important because it protects you. And you cannot just say somebody pushed you down. You cannot say the LTA grabbed your hand, grabbed your e-scooter. You cannot say anything unless you have evidence that it had happened. So it's very important to have evidence. Therefore, having a camera with you is very, very important. You never know when it's going to happen. So you have to have it running all the time, capturing everything. Why? Because we are in such a society. Some people ask me the question, what about if you were overseas? Now, I can tell you honestly that I go overseas very often, but people don't do these kind of things. Let's think about it, like things like OFO bikes, right? People throw them in the drains, people burn them, throw them down the block, throw them down the red bridge. And people in Singapore tend to damage things. And the children down here tend to do things which are not very sensible. Now, I've shared all the reasons of why this may be happening in my previous vlogs. So as I said, if you haven't actually watched our Wednesday vlogs, please go back and watch. It actually talks about on the attitude and character of people and why, or what is the system that is actually creating this out of Singaporeans. So because we live in such a country, it's very important for us to have a camera to protect ourselves. It's not the same as when we go overseas. People don't do such things overseas. Even if they did certain things like that, people overseas tend to be very aware about it. Like anytime, any day, if you go to, let's say, a neighboring country like Indonesia or Malaysia, you can see that motorcyclists actually travel on the road without their helmet. They actually travel in the opposite side of the road. But you know, it's a happy world. Everybody just travels that way. In fact, in our previous vlogs, you can actually see that e-scooterists are actually sharing the road with cars, and when they actually change lane, the cars actually learn to give way because people learn to live, people learn to coexist together. But in a society where people don't really coexist and people just follow the laws, like, oh, it's my right of way, so it is my right of way. When people start to live this way, it's very important to have a camera because the moment they make a mistake, they know, oh, they are gonna get into a lot of problem. And because of that, they start to throw a lot of stories and give a lot of excuses to get themselves out of this trouble. So it's very important to protect yourself, protect others. I hope I've got this really deep in your mind that having a camera is very important, and therefore I would really hope that you guys will get a camera. We are gonna give away another camera in this video, and I'm gonna give you the instructions later on. Alright, so let's go on to the next one. So over here we have one of the latest one actually, and it says down here, 4 injured after foodpanda rider collides violently with errant vehicle along Woodlands Ring Road. Let's blow this up and watch this. So over here, nothing happens and they're actually going left, and this is a pedestrian crossing, so the cars are waiting. After pedestrian crossing has cleared, the cars can go, and that is what is happening here. Let me just mute this. Alright. Okay, in fact, let's just play the sound. I think it's important. So over here, this is where you want to see your right side of the screen. There's a foodpanda rider down here. So foodpanda, for those of you who don't know yet, foodpanda is the kind of rider that actually delivers food to you when you actually order your food through their app. I want you to have a look at this car here. This is a double white line, which means that cars are not allowed to overtake. They're not allowed to cross this white line. In other words, this is like a mandatory strict no crossing line. So look at this vehicle and see what happens next. He crosses the line and he bangs this GrabFood rider. And you can see this is his pants here, so he has actually flown off from the bike. And his bike seems to be, he tilted in this way, so that's really bad. And the car comes, and well, the video jams. Alright, and the person in the car starts to cry. After hitting this rider, the car continues to hit this driver who is actually recording this. Look at that. Boom. I hope that this again helps you to realize how important it is for them to have this camera. It is really important, and it's really good that this driver has a camera in, you know, his car, his or her car. It's really important because after this incident, I'm telling you that the other driver may just say, oh no, you know, nothing really happened. Maybe he said he skied, or he was trying to avoid a cat or a dog. He can give a lot of reasons. But now when you look at the video, you realize, oh no, there was no cat, you know, there was no dog down there, there's no old elderly person walking across the road. So it's very important to have this camera to capture this, and it's really helpful, not just for the driver, him or herself, but also for the foodpanda rider. Now, not only is a camera really important, it also helps us to realize one thing. And this is a message to LTA, and that's why it's very important for us to share this to LTA. Not only e-scooters are dangerous to the society. Not only PMDs are dangerous to the society, not only cyclists are dangerous to the society. Cars too are equally, or vehicles on the road too are equally dangerous to the society. So if they want to implement a 15km or 10km rule because of the reason of it being a safety hazard, from what I understand, the reason why they want to implement a 10km/h rule is because they feel that going faster than that becomes dangerous. It affects the braking distance and it becomes dangerous on a collision because of the energy and the force that's coming from the device itself. If you think that this is your reason, LTA, if you think that it's a valid reason, then you have to look at yourself now and change all the rules on the vehicles. LTA, the society, and many people are disagreeable to the laws that you're stating and trying to implement for e-scooteries, PMDs and cyclists. It is not logical, and only people who are not involved with these things may agree with the digits and numbers that you're throwing up. People who are in the community, people who are using these things, they know how stable it is, they know how difficult it is to go on your pavements, they know how difficult it is to actually squeeze through a pavement when there's someone else walking. They know. And that's why you see people go on the road. That's why you see people not following the rules on the speed limits, because people cannot keep themselves stable while they're at that speed. You may think that 10km/h is a very, very valid speed. It may be valid on flat ground, on a nice ground, but the moment you go into rocky grounds, unstable grounds, the moment you try to squeeze through a small area which may be wet, which may be rocky, which may be sandy, it is a different story. The moment you try to go up a slope at 10km/h, that is when you know that you will fall off your e-scooter or your PMD or your bicycle. Now LTA, if you think that setting the 10km/h rule speed limit or even 15km speed limit is very valid because you think that at the speed of 15km and above, the device will cause greater harm or more harm to pedestrians around. If you think that that is the solution, then from watching these videos, I hope you realize that you need to implement a 10km/h rule on every single vehicle on your main road too, because every time they hit each other, whether it's a car-to-car collision, a car-to-bike collision, a car-to-human collision, which has happened so many times, and you and I know it has happened so many times. If you think that 10km/h is really the reason and the main thing that can help to solve all these injury problems, then you should and have to implement this to every vehicle coming into Singapore, every vehicle in Singapore's road and pavement and just anywhere, because they too are colliding. In fact, more car accidents than e-scooter accidents on a daily basis, more bike accidents, more vehicle accidents. And if all of them were traveling at 10km/h, I can guarantee you Singapore will be very safe. Even the cars that collide, when a car collides with another car, when a car collides with a motorbike, it will be very, very safe. So please, if you think that that is what you want to implement, please implement it to every single vehicle. Then you realize that Singapore is a very, very safe country, but it will also look extremely ridiculous, which is the current state now. I hope you realize through my videos that it is the human beings in Singapore, it is the society's character, and we need to educate these people. We need to teach people to live right. You and I need to live right. We need to live knowing our surroundings, not to be confused and blurred and just in our own world thinking we are always right. This is my petition to you, my opinion, and I hope that you can think carefully and reconsider what you are saying on the rules and regulations on these e-scooteries. By implementing these things, you are actually making it more dangerous for the PMD users, for the cyclists. You are making it so dangerous. Have you guys been on the road recently? And you see cyclists on the road and how dangerous some of them are, because the moment you say cycling can be on the road, some people go into the middle of the road. And I have seen cases, I even have a picture of this guy who was in the middle of the road blocking the buses and everyone behind, a long line, just because he is a cyclist and you allow bicycles to be on the road. And that is what is the problem. The problem is that you are doing things, creating laws to appease the crowd, but not really solving the problem. And I hope that you can help us by helping us to solve the problem entirely, the whole Singapore, not just in terms of e-scooteries, not just pinning down on PMD users, not just pinning down on cyclists, but everyone, including vehicles like vans, buses, cars, motorcyclists, everyone. The main thing that needs to change is the characteristics of people, the habit and attitude, not creating laws to prevent them from going at a certain speed. That is not very fair. That is a little ridiculous if you ask me, because you can look at most of the accidents that are happening on the road, cars, motorcyclists and all the vehicles, they are not PMD users. Are there PMD injuries and accidents? Yes. Comparing PMDs with vehicles and everything, I think that when you start to compare this way, you realize that everything needs to travel at 10 km per hour if your argument or your theory of 10 km per hour is a safe speed. Thank you so much for watching this vlog. Here are the instructions of how you can win yourself this camera. Alright, so in the previous vlog, what I asked you to do was to tell me what you're going to use this camera for, right? In this giveaway, in this second giveaway, I would like you to first of all like and share this video. The first thing is to like and share this video. If you can share it more, you know, please do. Like I said, the main idea behind all this sharing is to help to educate others and to spread the news so that people will really learn and know. It's not just about yourself, it's not just about you learning. Alright, you want to win this, good, I want you to win it too, but I also want us to think of others, not just ourselves. I'm going to trust you guys on this. So first, help me to like this video and share this video to all your friends, family members. Maybe you can print a picture, maybe you can stick it on a toilet door and tell them that if you're going to stand in the toilet for a long time or spend a long time in the toilet, stop playing games, watch these vlogs and learn something from them. The second thing is, I want you to tell me in the comments below why you think you deserve this camera, why you should be the one winning this camera. Once again, we are going to have a winner selected for this camera. We will announce the winner in next week's vlog. Once again, we've got something really cool. I mean, we've been spending weeks to compile something about e-scooteries and, you know, people traveling on the pavement. So like and share this video and tell me in the descriptions below why you think you should be the winner of this camera, and watch next week's vlog because we will then share with you who is the winner of this camera. Thank you so much for joining us in today's vlog. I hope it has really spoken to you. It's something that I really want to talk about, something that I would like to share with you guys, especially if you haven't been like staying tuned to all this news online. I've compiled everything, all the latest stuff for you in one vlog. Thank you so much for joining us. Stay cool, stay awesome and be your best always. Bye!